The 146th Open Championship visits Royal Birkdale, Southport, for the 10th time in the championship's history, and the first since 2008. Royal Birkdale is regarded as one of the most challenging tests on the Open rota, making it one of the truest assessments of links golf. TSZ takes a look at who has performed well on the links this season and who the main contenders are for the Open. The last 3 championships have been won with an average of 17, extremely low scoring for a major championship. The overall average for the last 10 Opens is 9. Links golf is traditionally heavily dependent on wind as protection for the course. During the 2008 Open at Royal Birkdale, strong gales and rain hit the championship, resulting in a 3-winning total for Padraig Harrington, who won by 4 shots from Ian Poulter. Additionally, this was the first winning score over par since 1999, and just the second since 1985. This highlights the difficulty of the layout, and if the weather is unkind, only the very best links player will succeed. We've assessed the world's current top 30 players' average finishing position at the Open Championship since 2011. World number 1 Dustin Johnson has the best record of the world's top 10 players, with an average finish of 19th from his previous 6 starts, followed closely by Masters champion Sergio Garcia, who boasts an average finish of 21st. There are 2 past champions in the top 10, Henrik Stenson and Rory McIlroy, with an average placing of 30th and 41st respectively. Jon Rahm has only ever played 1 Open, finishing in 59th position. World number 15 Adam Scott has the best average finish, 15th in the Open amongst the world's top 30 players. One of many favorites for the tournament is in form Tommy Fleetwood, but during his previous 6 starts he is yet to make the cut. Thomas Pieters has only played in 1 Open, so his score should be taken with a pinch of salt, whereas Phil Mickelson, 2013 champion, has an average of 32nd from his last 6 appearances, and still finds a way of getting himself into contention during the majors. Surprisingly, there are just 4 previous Open champions currently in the world's top 30. 4th, Louis Oosthuizen, 2010, demonstrating how the weather, draw and style of golf can play a big factor in the outcome. The top 10 ranked players have an overall average finish position of 39th, those ranked 11-20 an average of 68, and the 2,130 ranked players an average of 59th. We next look at the average finishing position by world ranking group of the players who competed in this year's Irish and/or Scottish Open, 2 tournaments seen as good links preparation for the Open. Exactly half of the world's top 30 players competed in either the Irish or Scottish Open in recent weeks. Over the 2 events, players ranked 11-20 in the world have performed better, with an average finishing position of 23rd. Jon Rahm continued his impressive play with a dominant victory at the Irish Open around the famous links of Portstewart, proving he has the game to win on this style of course and possesses the mental skills to combat tough conditions as experienced during this victory. Rafa Cabrera Bello sunk a first-hole birdie during a playoff to triumph at the Scottish Open around Dundonald Links, a victory which elevated him to 17th in the world rankings. We now run through some of our 5 leading contenders for glory at the Open. With 5 of the last 6 Open champions having competed at the Scottish Open the week prior, we have decided to select players who have followed suit this year, with one notable exception. As we highlighted last year, there is a strong correlation for success between the 2 tournaments. Adam Scott has performed strongly in the Open in recent years, and narrowly missed out to Ernie Els in 2012. Scott has the game to win anywhere, and if he gets a favorable draw this week, expect to see him up there come Sunday afternoon. Matt Kuchar is Mr. Consistency and perhaps does not convert his performances into wins enough. However, a 4th place at the Scottish Open shows his game is right where it needs to be. Both Scott and Kuchar played when the Open last visited Royal Birkdale in 2008, with Scott finishing T16 and Kuchar missing the cut. The extra course knowledge could be an advantage for the pair this week. Alex Norton simply knows how to win and win regularly. His form over the past 18 months suggests a major is next on the list, and although he did not play in 2014 and 2015 due to injury and missed the cut at last week's Scottish Open, the familiarity back on the links could see him contend. Patrick Reed has taken to links golf and traveled over to Europe in recent years to compete at the Scottish Open. Although a 66th finish last week doesn't show great form, a 12th place in the Open last year proves his links credentials, and a top 5 placing at the minimum wouldn't be surprising. The current Masters champion has not competed in either the Irish or Scottish Open heading to Birkdale, however, his previous performances in the Open cannot be overlooked. He has averaged 4th place during his previous 3 Open starts and summoned 4 top 10s in his previous 6 starts, making him somewhat of a links specialist. Do not be surprised to see Garcia collect his 2nd major this week.